Good morning. It's Devorah. It's InStory Live, and it's Tuesday morning, January 28th, I think, or 27th, 28th, and it's home office edition. And this whole past week has been on the theme of trust. I did last week 4 steps for developing trust, okay? And I did a trust intensive on Sunday. And this morning, YouTube sent me a TED Talk on how to trust yourself by Joe Simpson. So it's really a very fundamental practice that we have to strengthen in ourselves. And Joe Simpson, and her TED Talk is on my page now too for you to see. And she talked about, also used the word nudge. I always say I'm a big nudge. She said, listen to your inner nudges, that inner feeling. And it was such a great, that moment when you know you're on the right track. It's just a confirmation that I'm on the right track, talking about trusting your intuition. And I'm heading into a series on what's intuitive leadership. How do we lead from this inner place of trusting this other way of knowing? And I'm really kind of passionate right now about learning how to name it, acknowledge it, recognize it, and trust it. And that's why I did a whole free series on how to develop trust and a trust intensive. And I'm opening up this discussion. And really, the steps that I'm feeling about now is kind of investigating what does it mean to trust and lead with your intuition. How does that put you in a position of feeling like you're the leader of your own life, that you're not just being pulled and adapting to everything being initiated from the outside coming towards you? How do you become the leader, the one who initiates a direction, right? And then why are our stories so important? This is the other thing that's been coming up. Again, it's not like I didn't think it before, but it's strengthening in my consciousness, like the next level of why it's so important that we tell our stories. And I would love to know what you think. Like, why is it so important that we tell our stories? It's so important. And I see this over and over in so many ways. It changes how you feel about yourself, how you describe your life experience, and it opens up the way for the next person to see how their struggles have become their wisdom, to see that their life is a rich life, not just a hard or bad life or just a struggle-filled life, but that we have lived rich lives, we have gained wisdom, and we have something to say. And through the InStory Way, my year program, I take people through this process of shifting out of those old negative stories and voices that have held us back and told us we're not good enough and not worth it. How do you shift out of that? And then how do you start to shape your life into a story? How do you shape your gifts, your experience? I always say everything counts. How do you pull the wisdom out, connect it to your story, and share it with the world, which is that third step? So this journey through the year is through what I call shift, shape, and share. And what it does is it takes people from, hi Anna and Kay are in this work. It takes you really, when you do this deep work, you learn tools for how to shift forever, right? Those inner practice tools to shift either out of what's holding you back or shift into the trust and courage to move forward, right? Those are both that deep inner practice work of shift. And shape is starting to trust your own creativity, your inner wisdom, your higher guidance, and then to share it first in a safe place where it's a private group of supportive creatives who are banded together, and then to take it that next step, to reach out to someone who's maybe never heard your story before. And the other thing I find is that often the women who come into InStory have not even been telling the people who know them their story. It's certainly not that authentic piece. Hi, Aline, it's my gang. Hi, guys. And this is such a powerful work to, it's these 3 steps that I heard in a TED Talk about being able to be rigorously authentic, surrender the results, and do the uncomfortable work. And that is what you who are listening, that is what you guys are all doing. Everyone who joins the InStory Way is doing that. You have committed to that radical authenticity, that rigorous radical place of being authentic. You are totally stepping in before we know the results, and we're willing to do that uncomfortable work with each other because we feel that incredible love and support. It makes such a difference. So this is true for everybody. If you are feeling a calling on your soul, you can trust these women who are listening live now have done incredible work to bring their soul calling and their stories out in the world. And you can do that too. Hey, Trish. Oh my gosh, Trish is a graduate of the InStory Way. You must be up in the middle of the night, Trish. These women who have done the InStory Way, they're here listening now because they are still on fire to make a difference with their stories in the world, to do whatever it takes to show up, authentically, to share vulnerably, to trust themselves, and to know that your story makes a difference. It's very encouraging to me. Hi, Lily. Because I just find this work is so unbelievable. Hi, Trish. On Sunday, I led this work in a new form. I did a 3-hour intensive, and the new people who were on it, the women who were on it live, it was what really struck me is in those 3 hours, the incredible safety and connection and support created in that short time. It was like a microcosm of what we do over the longer time. Because when we try to do this visionary work alone, we just get taken down by our negative voices and our old stories. So being in it together makes a big difference. And so I created these 3 steps now, the 4 steps to developing trust, then a short 3-hour intensive, and then coming up starting on February 4th, I have a 1-month program. Right, Aline, who's in my InStory Way, listened into the Trust Intensive and shared some of her story and inspired a pajama moment. It was great. Just saying, like, the humor and the joy is a big part of the work. So the very next thing I have, if you are not already in my InStory Way, like all of the wonderful women listening, is my Reveal course. It's a 1-month deep dive that takes you past just 3 hours into 4 weeks of connection and investigation and sharing and deeper blossoming to build up your trust in yourself, your gift, your ability to trust your intuition and to share your story. So if you or anyone you know is interested, I'll put the link for the Reveal course here in the comments. And it's a great way to get a taste of what the whole InStory year is like, to feel you're worth it, to, have a recharge. It's just super cool. Kay helped me lead it last time, and some of the InStory women, listen as well. It's a way for every woman who's feeling this soul calling to not stay stuck. Don't stay stuck in the spin cycle. There really is a way to move forward. And all of you who are already here and already doing that, you could turn around and see who you know who's stuck. How do we help lift the next person up? Like, sometimes when I'm down, I just go try to lift up someone else, and then that lifts me up. So what's calling you forward? What's a step forward you can take? Like, one of the things, you could go and listen to the TED Talk I posted on my page. You can investigate the Reveal course. You can get quiet and listen to that inner nudge of what's calling you forward, and then do it. Okay? That's what I want to know. What's your inner nudge to do something next, and what is that next? Post it in the comments. I would love to know. I'm always here cheering you on. And remember, it's my mission to inspire you always to go out in the world, not stay home in the spin cycle, to go out in the world and share your story, live your purpose, and be a blessing. It goes in that order. When you share your story, that is how you live your purpose. And that is how you become a blessing, because you are making a difference. So, sending you lots of love, blessings, encouragement, and a little nudging. Bye, folks.